out positions and firing their employees. The number of Americans filing for first-time unemployment aid last week jumped to the highest level since mid-August, which, according to economists, is the latest sign that any chance at an economic recovery has moved backwards nationwide. Figures released Thursday by the Labor Department show 965,000 Americans filed first-time jobless claims. That's important. Listen to the language that is used here. First.
So you guys remember when everybody was filing unemployment, some months back. Now he's saying here that what the numbers are, there's 1 million people who have filed first-time unemployment. Okay? That's what he's saying.
Time claims. They've never filed jobless claims before, so you've got nearly 1 million here. How many people are filing repeat claims that aren't counted in these figures? Is it another million? Another 3 million? Because up to 70 million have filed since the beginning of this collapse. So 965,000 first-time claims filed, weekend in January 9th. This is scores higher than the 795,000 that they expected. You see, they're forecasting what is going to happen. They know where we're at. They know the time is short.
Does not the scripture say that? All right? Time is being made short. The grinding is going to cease. The first precept I want to go to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, and the pull it up for you guys. And the third verse says, "In the day when the keepers of the house will tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves," everybody's going to be humble, "and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." All right. All right. So now let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, and we'll start here at the let's see. We'll start at verse 8. "I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit." Profane means outside the temple. "Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me." Because this man is, he's slaying the children of Israel. He's going to be slaying the prophets, first and foremost, the Lord's voice in the earth. All right? Amos 3:7, "Surely the Lord God shall do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. And the souls of the just complain continually." So in the spiritual realm, those that were pursuing Yahweh Shai, all the spirits, man, they complain continually to Yahweh Shai about the wickedness that's taking place upon Jerusalem, the people before the place in the earth. They complain continually to him. So when he comes back, man, he's going to be on fire. All right? "The innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them." So it's going to be a recompense for all the wickedness done unto the children of Israel. Verse 10, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer now to dwell in the land of Egypt." This new Egypt, this new bondage that we're in, this last bondage which is taking place here in the North Country, America, Babylon the Great. All right? "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before," which this is a different captivity, "and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, the foundation of it shall be smitten, and the foundation of America is falling apart right now with the seams." The elites are done with America. That's why they're letting it fall in the way that it is. Okay? "With the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail." So there's going to be a lack of food. It's talking about famine. Okay? "Through the blasting of hail and the fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand against another, and swords in their hands." So it's going to be, people fighting against another. And you see, even whether the events that have been happening as of late are staged or not, you see in the stage for those things being set, man. When all hell hits the fan, and everything is the fan in society, man, people are going to be fighting against one another. There's going to be different sects of people thinking they're standing for certain things and this and that. And people are going to be, one against another. All right? Verse 16. "For there shall be sedition among men." And when you look up that word sedition, let's look it up really quick. All right? It's the word sedition. Sedition. All right? "Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch." And that's what's happening, man. Especially, you got a big portion You got a big portion of people, that aren't in the truth. You got regular everyday Edomites who know there's something up with the JAB, with the Crown Royal 19. They're not going to be for that. So they're going to be speaking against the powers that be. You understand? So, it's going to be a lot of sedition going on from many different angles. You understand? So now we're back in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right? For they should be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And people are going to do what they feel, they need to do to deliver themselves. But cat's out the bag, you can't deliver yourself. Only way you can be delivered out of this situation is if the Lord is dealing with you. All right? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Martial law, there's going to be checkpoints, and they even depict that in many movies and things like that, right? For because of their pride, cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So when you see guys like this, full spectrum survival guy, he'll say, he understands what's getting ready to take place. But what he doesn't understand is, regardless of what you do, no matter what, any doomsday prep, there's no way you can deliver yourself. There's no way you can account for everything. If the Lord has judgment for you, that judgment simply is going to be. You understand? Let me see if I can turn it down a little bit. All right. All right. You can still hear it. All right. So, yeah, man. So let's keep playing. Let's see what else he has to say.
Number is relatively 4 times higher pre-crisis levels. Almost 70 million Americans, or 40% of the entire labor force. 40% of every working adult that you know in the history of all the people that you have ever known have filed for unemployment since this crisis started. The rise in level of new unemployment claims is shocking. It's at the highest point we've seen since August. That's Mark Hamrick, Bankrate's chief economist. This reminds us that the economic crisis has not gone away. Far from it, he says, at a time when multiple crisis events have been vying for our attention. The number of people who are counting to receive the unemployment benefits rose to 5.27 million, an increase of 200,000. That's people continuing to receive benefits. The report shows that roughly 18 million Americans are receiving some kind of jobless benefit. We're talking about a crisis here that hasn't been seen in generations. And people will dare to tell you that things are okay. The report provides fresh evidence that new lockdown measures are weighing on the labor market. These measures are being combined with a drastic loss in confidence among the American people. The American people, their money, they're not spending it into the same retail outlets that kept the economy going for the last 10 years. They've said, we're done. They're holding up.
Why? Because people know that something is coming. The ordinary person understands that this place is circling the drain, that they need to prepare themselves for a dark time. You understand? So, regardless of what the media say will say, oh, everything's going to go back to normal. This is the way back to normal. Da-da-da-da. But many people know that although they're saying peace and safety, sudden destruction is coming upon this place. All right? Let's see if I could, no. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. Here we go. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Again, man, if the Lord is not with you, you're not going to escape this. But ye brethren are not in darkness. Okay, we understand, we see, we've been shown, the Lord has opened our eyes to the prophecies and the things that are going to take place. We didn't need survival God to tell us, right? But ye brethren are not in darkness. And we've been saying, in Apostles and Elders on down, been saying this for years upon years, far before the signs were tangible. That's what the seers, that's what the prophets are supposed to do. Far before the signs were tangible, we said these things were going to happen. The pestilence, the collapse of the money, the falling apart of America. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. We got to be sober-minded. We're supposed to be paying attention to these things. And we've been doing that, right? So that's why we've been building our spirit up to be ready for the adversities that are to come in this society. You understand?
Onto that money. They're trying not to spend it frivolously. They're trying to make every single dollar count. Many more Americans are receiving jobless aid from 2 federal programs. So this is more on top of these that we're already talking about. More Americans receiving aid from other federal programs. The CARES Act, one extends aid to self-employed individuals, that's like gig workers, things like that, people who aren't typically eligible for benefits, and the other one is to people who have exhausted their state benefits. Is there a bright side? Well, there might be for your preparedness, at least in the short term, at least before the big crash comes. Joe Biden is expected to unveil a stimulus plan that will cost upwards of $1 trillion tonight. Remember, each time this happens, it comes at a cost. When that card crashes, it's going to come down hard. It's unclear what specific provisions are going to be included, but they're expecting $2,000 stimulus amounts. If you get that, if that happens, know that that debt has to be paid sometime, and you and your family need to make use of every penny in that currency that you're given. Every single penny. Because that debt will have to be paid. But right now, you can use it to get ready for what's coming. The depth and duration of this downturn, now 43 weeks long, demands further fiscal response on part of elected officials. That's according to the chief bank economist. Another sign of what's coming? U.S. refinancing applications are skyrocketing. So a person owns a building, they own a house, they refinance it, extend it, get lower monthly payments because they can't afford to make their bills. Skyrocketing across the United States. Joel Kahn, NBA's associate.
Yeah, man. So the state of this place is falling apart at the seams. You know, and they try to do it like you said. They try to, they say, they give out the small business loans, they give out the stimulus checks. What people don't understand is that the government, they have to pay that back. So who are they going to get the money from? They're going to get it from the people, and the people aren't going to be able to pay it back, man. There's a clip when I first came into the truth that I watched. It's an animation. It teaches you how money works. It teaches you, it went into the fact that the Federal Reserve is not owned by America. All the central banks of the world are not owned by these countries. All these countries are in debt to the elite banking families. All that money that is borrowed by these countries has to be paid back. They're in debt to these countries, and the debt that they're in, because of the outlandish interest, can never be paid back. Okay? So, America is getting to that threshold to where they're going to fall apart at the seams, the same way Germany did at the latter end of World War I. So, right now you got to be in the mind state of life isn't going to continue to go as normal. You're not just going to be coming, going to work, getting online and doing all these things. All that stuff, the normal life is getting ready to stop. It's not going to be the same. You're not going to be able to just call and pick up and talk to your family, go and come as you please. You're not going to be able to just go to the grocery store. You're not going to be able to just hop online and scroll all day. That shit is getting ready to stop. Enjoy it while you can, But all of it's getting ready to stop. Are you spiritually in the state of mind to where you can operate when things in the society really do hit the fan? People fall apart when they don't have a purpose. The men of the Lord, those that know the truth, we know what our purpose is. At the end of the day, if everything's taken from us, we have something to fall back on. People in the world, most people, they don't have a purpose. They're trying to fill it with miscellaneous things, but they can never fill it. We're under the curses. Nothing they achieve in the world could fill that hole that they feel inside. You understand? There's only one thing that can fill it. That's why you hear a lot of celebrities say they get all this money and it's not everything. And no matter what level of success they reach, they still not happy. It's not by coincidence, But yeah, just a quick lesson, man. Actually, I got a couple more clips I want to show you. I seen another clip earlier because I want to go on the fact about World War III as well. So hold on, bear with me.
People are not asking the right questions. They're not asking the right questions because they kind of think they already know the answers.
All right, skip that.
Let's talk more about this. I'm joined here in the studio, Frosty Falls, Douglas Herbert, our international affairs commentator. joins us. I mean, Doug, it's no secret that this drawdown has faced a lot of opposition.
A lot of opposition, most notably in Congress, which actually has made it illegal for the Pentagon to do exactly what it's doing right now. There was a law passed earlier this month by the Congress, vetoed by Trump, and then overridden by Congress, basically saying, no, you cannot, the Trump administration cannot pull troops down below a level of 4,000. They're estimated to be going down to about 2,500. Below 4,000 until the Pentagon, the Defense Department, sends us an assessment of the risk and impact of doing so. The real fear here, and you mentioned some of the...
America, the elites use America for their military. Okay, America is just a corporation, and they have soldiers for hire, man. And that's basically what, if you have family in the military, they're serving the purpose of the elites, man. They're not out there fighting for, some righteous purpose. That's not the case. They're serving the purpose of the elites. They invade these countries under the guise of democracy, saying they're bringing peace and choice to the people. They're not doing that. They're going to these nations and extorting them for their resources. When America first went into Afghanistan, right? Way back when, do you know that the heroin production or heroin overdose cases, or the amount of heroin that was in the States, skyrocketed, man, 300%. Now, in that particular part of the world, they produce and naturally grows a lot of poppy plant, which is how you make heroin. Okay? Jake, Ray down the street don't got poppy plants in his backyard. Where's that heroin coming from? Where are these drugs coming from? Do the math, man. So these people, they don't go out into these countries and bring peace and democracy and all these things. They're all lies. Viewed in this interview, if you listen to what he's saying, and you think about it, many of the things that he's saying are lies, all right? And I'll pause it and point out some of the lies, all right? Here we go.
These elements is that, look, Donald Trump campaigned on ending the endless wars. U.S. troops have been in Afghanistan for 20 years, since 2001. They were in Iraq since 2003, 18 years. Sure, people want to end endless wars, but the problem is doing so responsibly. And the military advisors, a lot of people in Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, fear that it's one thing to pull down troops. It's another thing to do so responsibly in a very tricky situation. Yes, talks have been underway, intra-Afghan talks between the government and the Taliban, but they've been taking place amidst a backdrop of intensifying violence across the country. And Washington accused...
Also, if you didn't know, I'm going to have to do a lesson on it. There's a thing called proxy wars. A lot of these groups, like the Taliban, ISIS, these are CIA government-funded organizations that pose as an enemy in the country. They pose as a threat to a nation, gives America validation to go into a country and help them eliminate this enemy that they set up in the first damn place. Because we live in a time where you can just hop online and read anything. So America can't just walk into countries and take their shit. That's not how things work anymore. You can't just walk in people's country and take their shit and everybody looks at you like you're a good guy. You know what I mean? Because America has to uphold this facade, this image that they're, have such high merit and integrity in all the things that they do. So when they do things like go in and extort a country, it has to be a righteous cause that they went and did that, right? So all these groups like the ISIS and all these different groups that pop up from time to time, these are American-funded groups planted in countries, and they use those groups as validation to go into these countries. All right. And any reporter or anybody that tries to talk about it or anything, they go missing. You know what I mean? So, and he's about to even speak on that, I believe, in this interview. Here you go.
And Afghan officials accusing the Taliban of basically preparing a new offensive, and also the U.S. government accusing them of targeted high-profile murders of journalists in the past few weeks, murders of human rights activists, murders of government officials. This is all going...
Remember, these little groups are controlled opposition So if these strategic murders are happening, who's really controlling that? The elites, then America, because the elites control America. You see, so if anybody's speaking against what's really going on, who? You know what I mean? Who's really responsible? The wicked, man. They're very crafty.
Going apace, even as you have these peace talks, and even as you have troops drawing out, there is a lot of fear and foreboding right now about what the consequences of this will be to speedy drawdown.
Let's talk a little bit more about consequences. Obviously, it's no secret the 20th of January will see US President-elect sworn in.
Yes.
It might not be at the top of his agenda because, let's face it, the US is facing an awful coronavirus situation. However, he will have to navigate the situation.
And there's also that little matter of the impeachment trial.
That sort of thing, yes.
You're absolutely right. Listen, Joe Biden is in a real dilemma here because on the one hand, he understands that the current administration and
presidents are selected, not elected, right? So all these people are puppet heads in the grand scheme of things anyway. You know, holds no significance. But, you know, these are all things that have to happen because they have certain phases on how they want to move forward with their plan. And they have to be very strategic because this devil knows once he starts to touch the apple of the Lord's eye, all right, which is the children of Israel, specifically the elect, the Lord's going to start moving. You know what I mean? So he thinks some kind of way he can outmaneuver the Most High, which he can't, but he's being very strategic on how he moves. So a lot of things are going to lead up to, many things have to lead up to, you know, that big push. You know? So yeah, man, that was the other clip I wanted to show you guys. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm probably gonna put another video up later tonight. But with that being said, I want to give you guys I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakadash. I want to give double honor to Apostle Nelda's great millstone who told us this truth. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and of course the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity, man. May the blessing of election be upon your house. All right? Shalom.
First and foremost, all praise to Yahushua.
O children of Israel, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.